The best piece of advice I have for someone trying to succeed in the film industry or any creative space is if you're doing what everyone else is doing, you're doing it wrong.
One of the best to ever do it.
What is freedom? I think I stole this from Bob Dylan, but maybe I stole this from Woody Guthrie. Freedom for me is waking up in the morning and going to sleep at night, and in between doing exactly what I want to do. What's the secret to happiness? The secret to happiness is finding something you love and then doing that for the rest of your life.
Hey everybody, and welcome to Site Review Tuesday. I'm Robert with Zenfolio Customer Success, and I want to say thank you for joining me. Now, here in a minute, we're going to get to reviewing one of your websites, and I do want to point out that while this has been pre-recorded, I'm hanging out in the chat, interacting with you guys live and answering your questions. Now, if you're interested in having your website reviewed, there's a link in the description below this video where you can submit your site. And in addition to getting a site review, I also offer a one-on-one session to each photographer who has had a site review done to help them answer any questions or assist in making any changes that they may want to make. Now, don't forget, we also live stream every Thursday at 11 a.m. Pacific, 2 p.m. Eastern Time, so I hope to see you there. Let's get into the site review.
Hi guys, this is Katie with Zenfolio Customer Support bringing you another live site review. Today we'll be looking at Michael Curtis Photography at www.michaelcurtisphotography.com, and I just want to start by saying thanks to Michael for submitting his site for our review. It's a great way for Zenfolio users to see how other folks are approaching site building, and I just want to thank Michael again for doing that. Also, thank you guys for hanging out with me in chat. I wanted to mention that, like our other live site reviews, this has been pre-recorded, but I will be hanging out with you guys in chat if you have any questions, comments along the way. I look forward to hearing you guys' feedback. So let's go ahead and get started here with Michael's homepage. So as you can see, Michael's a great photographer. We've got some really lovely images featured here on the homepage. But the first thing that I would say, especially since there's the use of a dynamic grid on this page, and seeing some formatting inconsistencies, would be to look at things like, say, this badge added as a sort of watermark to this image is great because it's drawing attention to the fact that Michael won an award for this photo. However, I'm seeing some somewhat unhelpful watermarks applied to a bunch of these images and inconsistently applied through parts of the site. So while I do love this formatting of the multiple vertical images set up as a kind of panorama, I see watermarks on a few of those, but not all of them. It might even just be worth cropping that out if you don't want to do any major overhaul of the design. But making sure that any watermarking behavior, including the use of logos, is consistent across the images on the site. Also seeing, totally different watermarks with this kind of chartreuse here in the center. Seeing that some of these images have been formatted to include a kind of mask to deal with the aspect ratio of the image. However, using this dynamic grid on the home page, it will accommodate differences in aspect ratios. So it may be worth just using versions of those images that don't have those masks applied, so that really more attention is drawn to the photographs themselves. That being said, I do love the use of the welcome message here on the home page. I think it's great in that it automatically lets your visitors know what genres of photography you serve most often and gives them links to those portfolio areas. Also letting folks know where you're based and what areas you serve right here on the homepage. It's a great way of using the welcome message. Also great for your SEO. So great job on the welcome message and beautiful images. I really just wanted to be more about those images and less about distracting elements like inconsistent watermarks. I do enjoy the use of the social media icons here in case folks want to be able to follow you easily on Instagram and find your Facebook page. But another thing that I might do with these images, I noticed that these are clickable and that it leads to the portfolio galleries and the location of the image in the portfolio galleries. I'm not sure that this is entirely helpful, so I might recommend just setting this grid not to be clickable and rely on this portfolio drop down to get your clients to see a little bit more of these images. So let's go ahead and start looking at some of these portfolio galleries. The first thing I noticed looking here at the wedding photography portfolio is I'm seeing some somewhat distracting elements here in the portfolio galleries. So I don't think that it's necessarily helpful to have these breadcrumbs displayed on the page. Also, I would recommend disabling the favorites feature and the select photos button for these images. These are really meant to allow visitors to see the work that you do, so these kinds of distracting elements make it a little bit less about the images. That's really what I want to see as a visitor when I'm coming here to these portfolio galleries, is the best experience I can have looking at your work and whether I'd be interested in hiring you as a client. So not sure that I need to see those file names so much, and not really I mean, it's possible that you make use of the favorites feature as you're dealing with new clients, but if that's not something useful to you, getting rid of those distracting elements would help to bring more attention to your photos. Another thing I wanted to mention in the effort of bringing more attention to photos and optimizing these portfolio galleries as well as the home page is finding the right number of images to display. Really, for a home page and for the portfolio galleries, it's best to focus on between 15 to 20 images to highlight only your best work. So for, say, the home page, because of the variety of genres that you cover, maybe 4 or 5 images from each of those genres that you feel best exemplify your the work you're most proud of in those areas. And then for the portfolio galleries, doing the same. 15 to 20 images of your best work in weddings and your best work with engagement shoots. Same thing for the high school seniors, so that it's really more about the images and maybe just the best images, not necessarily every client that's been serviced or quite so diverse of a representation of the clientele, and really more about displaying the diversity of your skills and the variety of the types of photography that you're able to execute for your clients. I did enjoy this particular graphic. However, I saw that it was only the senior photos that displayed this graphic. It might be nice if it's consistent across the other portfolios. So that would be my feedback here for these portfolio galleries, is just optimizing those images and getting rid of any distracting elements. Also, eliminating as many redundancies as possible. I noticed that a few of the images located in the contemporary portraiture gallery were also available in the portraits gallery, and you might even consider collapsing those into a single portfolio gallery. So let's go on here to client galleries. Also, what do you guys think in chat? Do you think it's better to have as many possible images as you can display, or do you think it's better to optimize based on, say, the quality of images and really highlight the best images? Is 15 to 20 not enough images? I'd love to know what you think, so let me know in chat. Looks like the preferred method for delivery for the client galleries, in case your folks come back to your site, are looking for their shoot. This is a great way of doing that, just so that they can navigate there to that client galleries link and find their gallery here. Great use of the cover thumbnail so that they don't have to necessarily look at a list and they can look for faces that are familiar to them. I think this is a great page for your client galleries. And in this case, it's not so bad to have so many images displayed because you got lots of clients, so there might as well be lots of cover photos to look through. Also, this is kind of a way for visitors, in case they were curious about some of the portfolio stuff, like, well, how does it translate to his actual client work? This might be a good way for them to see a bit more of your work. So moving on to the blog page, I do notice that via your site menu that the blog link is currently set up to open in a new browser tab or a new window. So I'm not sure if that was entirely intentional. I don't really see a use for that for the blog necessarily. That feature is really nice in case you have links to external pages, sending visitors away from the site. As long as visitors are still here in your site with your site menu available to them here in the header, it's not really all that useful to have that page open up in a new window. So I would consider maybe just keeping that in within your site. But what do you guys think? How do you use the open a new tab feature? Do you find that useful? Do you find it unhelpful if you're visiting a site and you find that there are suddenly multiple browser tabs open for the same site? Let me know in chat. I think this is a great way of using the blog. Can tell that this is recently updated blog, so your visitors know you're still in business and that you're still shooting great photographs. So I love this set of photographs. I think that this is a great way of keeping clients and visitors updated on your work. It's also a really great way of optimizing your SEO by including these keywords in there. I noticed that you may not be using the comments option in your blog, so you might consider just removing that from your blog post pages if you're not going to be utilizing the comments feature. So maybe, oh, look, I've got so many browser tabs. But it's not a deal breaker, as long as I can still look at these photographs. I think that Michael's done a great job of utilizing his blog to highlight his work, and I love this blog entry about the awards. It's a little further back. Maybe the blog wasn't updated so often in between those two entries, but it is nice to see that you're still working on your craft. So let's go here to some information pages. We'll start with the About page. It's nice to see your face, Michael. I think this is a beautiful portrait. I've got no issues whatsoever with this, and actually love the information that you're including here on your About page. Great use of clickable hyperlink text to route visitors to your portfolio galleries, and I love all of these links here. There's lots of great information about you and about the areas that you're servicing. So Michael's done a really beautiful job. You'll see here with these pages under information that Michael has utilized custom pages to his benefit in a big way. I love this embedded form for having your clients book a session with you. There's so much great information available here. A great way of, say, picking up where Zenfolio lets off and using, in this case, Acuity scheduling to let clients book sessions with you. This is a really great embedded form. I really love this page. Somewhat related to that, I see a great pricing page here. Lots of great contact information and information about pricing on your shoots. I love also that you've included images. This might be my favorite image that I've seen on the site. Pacific Northwest is so beautiful. This is such a beautiful image. It's really stunning. So I think that's a great use of custom pages, incorporating both text and images to let clients know not only your pricing, but why they should spend their money with you. These are great photos. So really enjoyed this custom page. Go here to the contact page. While the Zenfolio contact page can be pretty limiting, Michael's done a great job of using these optional fields to gather more info from clients who are ready to go and have that information available. Also, see the schedule booking link here. Great use of these fields on the custom page. Sorry, the contact page. But speaking of great uses of custom pages, I love this testimonials page. I love the way these images are formatted. I love the graphics. This is an awesome way of highlighting your testimonials that you've gotten from your clients. Also great for your SEO. There's a lot of really useful text in here. I really love these personalized graphics. They seem intimate and accessible. I noticed that there's a little bit of difference, that most of these are pretty consistent, but not all of them necessarily. You might consider just formatting each of these at exactly the same size so that that's consistent. Same thing with this text here. I noticed this was maybe copied and pasted from another page, and it might be worth just highlighting that text in the custom page to remove that formatting so that that's consistent across the page. Let's go here to the resources page. So this is yet another example of a custom page utilizing some really helpful elements in the formatting toolbar. Here we've got some excellent PDFs. I noticed that there's helpful hints on the one link for senior guys, but the senior girls are a little in the dark, so it might be worth making those links consistent here on this custom page. But there is really a lot of great information in the preparation tips for senior guys. And it looks like maybe the preparation tips for senior girls was more like a model release. I could see that being useful as another link. but maybe trying to make those consistent so the girls don't feel left out. I love this embedded video from YouTube. The Kodak commercial was very charming, and I also love that you're bringing attention to other vendors that you've maybe worked with on your shoots. These links could really be super helpful for some of your clients, so it's a really generous page. I really love that resources page. So just to recap, looking here at the home page, maybe just making this watermarking behavior more consistent across the pages, and culling some of these photos to highlight your best work. Love the use of the welcome message to let folks know where you're at. In the portfolio galleries, optimizing these images so that, say, 15 to 20 images, maybe a few more, are there to show clients your best work, and getting rid of some of these distracting elements like the overlays, favorites, select photos buttons, and these breadcrumbs. Client galleries, giving folks a great way to get to their images, and really good use of the cover thumbnails so that that's easy to navigate. With the blog, maybe just making that open within the site rather than opening on a separate browser tab, and getting rid of the comments once you get into those blog post pages will really make that blog way more accessible. And again, great use of custom pages throughout the information section. This embeddable form with the bookings I really loved, and resources for links to partner vendors. It's really a generous way of using your site. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this, and I hope that you'll catch us for the next live site review.
Hey, thank you guys so much for watching that site review. If you found this video helpful, please make sure to give it a thumbs up, and if you're not subscribed to the channel, make sure that you click that subscribe button and hit the little bell icon so you get notified when we post videos and when we go live. Now, if you're interested in having your site reviewed, there's a link in the description below this video where you can submit your website for that. And in addition to getting a site review, you're also going to get a link where you can schedule a session with me. We're going to go over your website, go over the review. I'll answer any questions that you have and help you make any changes that you're interested in making. So the link to sign up for that is in the description below this video. Now, don't forget Zenfolio Live coming up this Thursday at 11 a.m. Pacific, 2 p.m. Eastern Time. Hope to see you guys there. Until then, I hope you have a great week.